Board of Certified Advanced Estheticians meeting is convening at 9:06 a.m. on February 19th, 2026. This meeting is being held in person and through Zoom video conference and is being recorded. The recording will be posted to the internet for public viewing. I will now call roll. Jamie O'Neill, here. Rachel Anthony.
Here.
Kimberly Robinson, not here, right?
She did confirm her attendance, so if she does join, I will mention that what time she joined.
Okay. Olivia Gill.
Here.
Christy Turner.
She's not joining.
Okay. Dr. Thomas Evans.
Here.
Heather Onaday.
Here.
Rachel Amada.
Here.
Okay, great. Members, when you wish to speak, please state your last name for the record. Board members are asked to not use the chat feature during meetings. The health licensing office asks that individuals attending through Zoom keep their phones muted and cameras off during the entire meeting or until they are given an opportunity to comment during the public and interested parties' feedback period, if indicated on the agenda. Public comment is limited to matters listed on the meeting agenda or topics relevant to what this board has statutory authority to regulate. Public members wishing to speak, please sign in on the roster sheet available in the room or email Josh Page at josh.page@oha.oregon.gov and provide your first and last name. Everyone is asked to use appropriate language, manners, and protocols when conducting board business. Do I need to do the public interested feedback yet?
We'll do that when we get to that section in the agenda. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, so the next item on the agenda is approval of the agenda, but I would like to amend it so we can introduce the new non-voting member, Todd. Todd, what was your last name? Todd Carpenter. Thank you. I was gonna say Robinson. So we can introduce Todd Robinson. So if we can if that's okay, Chair.
Yes.
We can get someone other than the chair to approve the amended agenda.
I second the amended agenda.
And you are?
I'm Rachel Anthony. I apologize.
You're fine. Thank you, Rachel. You're the first, so now we need someone to second it.
Olivia Gill here. I second the amendment to the agenda.
Thank you very much. Chair, after each time we have a motion, we need you to call roll, and you don't have to call Christy Turner since she's not going to attend.
Okay. Jamie O'Neill, yay. Rachel Anthony.
Yay.
Olivia Gill.
Yay.
Dr. Thomas Evans.
Yay.
Heather Onaday.
Yay.
Rachel Amada.
Yay.
Okay, thank you, everybody. This is Bob Bothwell here at HLO, and we have Todd Carpenter. Todd, he's here in the room with us, so if you could introduce yourself to the board real quick. Doesn't have to be a long dissertation, but.
Hi, I'm Todd Carpenter with Oregon Health Authority Radiation Protection Services. At the end of March, I'll be appointed as the interim section manager, Radiation Protection Services, and it's my pleasure to serve you.
Thank you. Go ahead, David.
Hello all, I'm David Howe. I'm the current Radiation Protection Services Program Director. And for context, because I know you have some new board members, when the Certified Advanced Esthetician Board was created a few years ago, there was a provision made to have an ex officio non-voting member from our agency be a part of your board. And the reason for that is that the Radiation Protection Services has statutory authority to regulate lasers. And as you all know, lasers can be a part of an advanced esthetician practice. And therefore, it was felt appropriate that because there was overlapping responsibilities and we had some expertise in lasers to become a part of the board when it was created. So I'm stepping away due to retirement, and Todd is going to be my successor. And he's been around for 18 years, involved in radioactive material licensing and administration work for our agency. So he's well versed in what we do and how we do it. So we wanted to have the opportunity to kind of do a handoff today from me to him. So thank you.
Todd, welcome.
Thank you.
We do most of our meetings by Zoom. However, you're welcome to come in anytime. And so same with any board member. If you're in Salem and you want to stop by to have the board meeting, we're happy to have you. Okay. Chair, if anybody doesn't have any questions for David or Todd, we can move on to the director's reports.
Okay.
All right. So first item on the director's report is the board member standings. I would like to point out that as a board member, there are 4 trainings. One is optional, and that's the overview of government ethics law. And the other 3, overview of boards and commissions, information security training foundations, preventing discrimination and harassment. Those are required once annually, with the exception of the overview of commissions. You only have to do that once per term. Once every 4 years, I believe this board is. So, and there's hot links. If you go to the materials that were sent to you, those should take you right to those trainings in Workday. The next item are the board members and their status. We have Rachel Amata is in a first term, and that expires December 31 of 29, and Rachel can reappoint. Jamie O'Neill is in a first term. It expires April 27, and Jamie can reappoint. Rachel Anthony is in a first term. It expires in May of 26, and Rachel can reappoint. Kimberly Robinson is at the end of her second term in 2029, and she won't be able to reappoint. Olivia Gill is in a first term. It expires 12/31/2028 and can reappoint. Christina Turner is in a first term. It expires 12/31/27 and can reappoint. Heather Onaday, first term, expires 12/29, can reappoint. Dr. Thomas Evans is in the first term. It expires 12/31/29, and Dr. Evans can reappoint, and we still have a public member vacancy. And if you have any questions on any of this, you can reach out to Chrissy Pickett. She will be happy to help get you on to Workday to get the trainings if you haven't taken them yet, or if you have any questions about reappointment when your time comes, Rachel. Any questions on board standings? Okay. Moving on into our statistical reports. If you're following along, we're on page 13. And these graph charts, I'm hoping, are going to go away because they're difficult to read and they're boring for me. And so we'll present them to the board when we get them all readjusted and worked out. But currently, we're in Q3 of FY26, and we have issued 12 licenses. And licenses renewed, we have renewed a total of 58 in Q3. Licenses by age and gender, you can see on slide 15 that the, I'm sorry, hold on a second. There we go. I'm on a small screen, so it's a big picture for me. But you can see this is a young and up and coming profession. So we should have licensees for quite a while. Slide 16, licensing trends. We are averaging about 705 currently. And the test results are pretty good. You have 3 years worth on this slide 17. And so in 2026, we've had a total of 58 pass the exam and 8 did not. Any questions on any of those statistics? Okay, very good. And moving on to the fiscal report, board's in pretty good shape. Fiscally, you had a beginning cash balance of $204,453 in 2026. So far, revenues have been $45,680, expenditures $35,343, net operations of $10,337, beginning cash balance of $214,790 in the positive. For those of you who are might be questioning why the dates on, take 2022, for example, are for July 1, 2021 through June 2022. It's because our fiscal year begins July 1 of any given year and ends June 30 of the following year. So that's why you'll see 2 different years in those brackets underneath those dates. And the 2022 will probably drop off by your next board meeting because we're running out of room on the page. All right. Trampus Shuck. Oh, hold on. Any questions with regards to the financial report? You guys are making it too easy, but thank you. Trampus for the regulatory report.
Hello, everybody. My name is Trampus Shuck. I'm the regulatory manager here at the Health Licensing Office. I'm here to talk about the regulatory report and just kind of any general regulatory stuff that people want to talk about. So on the regulatory report, you can see that we have 3 bienniums showing up. We have the 2023 biennium, the 2025 biennium, and the 2027 biennium, which we are currently in. So how these work is these are 2-year time frames. The 2027 biennium, we just started last July, just July 1st, 2025. So we're, about 7 months, 8 months into that. These numbers are reflecting that. And as you can see, we've only had 3 complaints come in for so far in that 7 months. So not too bad. The 2025 biennium, we had 11 come in. The 2023 biennium, which is just still hanging on with, it shows 2 cases, but I can tell you one of those 2 in that 2023 biennium that show is open is actually closed. It got closed after this. It was in the administrative process when this report was printed, and now it's actually closed. So we had 17 come in, and only one of those are still open, but hopefully soon to have that one resolved as well. So we had just to give this to some perspective on these numbers. So overall, the office has generally over the years received about 300 a year complaints. So if you were to look at these complaints in that context, we received around 600 complaints for that 2023 biennium. Typically we would have the same for that 2025 biennium, and you all received 17 and 11. So not a huge number of complaints are coming in for this group, which is, that's a good thing. The other thing that I would put into perspective, we also in 2025 had a really big year. We had 455 complaints come in for everybody, all of our 20 boards come in last year. So we had a pretty big year. It was a pretty heavy complaint year. So we had a lot of extra, complaints come in. We're not sure if that's a trend yet or if that's just the new reality, but we'll be keeping our eye on that as well. So, but that's kind of the overall picture of open and closed cases. Complaints by type. As you can see, we have licensing concerns, safety and sanitation issues, and then services provided. So just a little overview of what each one of those is. Licensing concerns is just what it sounds like. It's some type of licensing issue. Either somebody's working with an inactive license, somebody's working with a no license. I can say that a good feel like a lot of these are going to be somebody who's working, a lot of times it actually is a cosmetology esthetician who's being accused of working out of their scope or something and stepping into advanced. But that's the licensing concern section. That has anything to do, could even be somebody's working in that unlicensed facility. Safety and sanitation issues, we've only had one for this group. We don't get a lot. Safety sanitations, though, I will put that also to put a little star by that. Often these safety sanitation issues are regulated more on the cosmetology side. As you know, there's a lot of crossover with this group. So everybody who's an advanced is a cosmetology esthetician as well, and is working in a cosmetology facility. And a lot of times those safety sanitation issues default back to that facility. So not to say that there's no safety sanitation issues that ever come up with advanced estheticians, just usually they would default back into the cause side. You wouldn't necessarily see them over on your advanced board. So services provided over the bigger one. This is where, just somebody was, this could be somebody was injured. This could be, accusation that somebody just didn't do something right. But that's kind of the bigger bulk licensing and service provided. As you can see down below, I pointed out, I think it was too late to get this corrected, but the complaints by type, obviously are not, there's something going on with those. There's only 3 that show up as other, and that's, we have a total of like 30 or something like that. So there's something wrong with that number. Hopefully we'll have something worked out by the next board meeting for that. So yeah, that's the complaint side of it. I also wanted to give you a little bit of a perspective on inspections, because you all do get inspections as well. So I don't have biennium numbers for inspections, but I can tell you by year, for example. So last year, the office and agency did 7,748 inspections overall. And as far as advanced estheticians, they logged 82 of those were advanced estheticians. Now, it's a little more specific. You have a lot of estheticians out there, and we loop around the state every couple of years. This is only the ones that we were actually able to make contact with. We were able to actually inspect them because they weren't locked in a room with somebody, doing a service or something like that. So it is a smaller group that actually that logs in here. But we had 82 people actually get logged in as inspections last year. So that's the overall picture for regulatory. Does anybody have any questions for regulatory? I know we have an executive session coming up, but that'll be for a specific case that we'll talk about. But this is the time to talk about general questions about regulatory.
See, Jamie came off mute, Trampus.
Oh, sorry. No, it's good. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Well, if there's no questions, we'll move on.
Okay, not seeing any hands up or anybody coming off mute. Chair, if you're ready, we can move into public and interested parties feedback, and you do have a script for that.
Yes. Okay. At this time, the Board of Certified Advanced Estheticians will hear public and interested parties' feedback. Public comment is limited to matters listed in the meeting agenda or topics relevant to what this board has statutory authority to regulate. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes and will not be allowed if they are disruptive to the board's conduct of its business. If you are called on to comment, HLO staff will request the public member to unmute themselves. The chairperson and HLO reserve the right to end a person's comment early and have HLO staff mute the public member if the comment does not pertain to matters listed on the meeting agenda or topics relevant to what this board has statutory authority to regulate. Are there any members of the public who wish to comment? If so, please raise your hand or use the Zoom raise hand feature and wait to be acknowledged.
Okay, I see only staff up there, correct?
Yeah, there's no hands.
Okay, so that was a good trial run, Chair. So we don't have any members of the public or the media.
Okay. Okay,
So if you're ready, you can
let's go in executive.
executive session. Travis, you have your recorder?
I do.
Okay. The Board of Certified Advanced Estheticians will now meet in executive session pursuant to ORS 192.660(2)F and ORS 676.590 for the purpose of considering information exempt from the public disclosure at 9:26 a.m. on February 19th, 2026. Representatives of the news media shall be allowed to attend the executive session. Audience members attending through Zoom will now be moved into a separate breakout room, and audience members attending in person are asked to leave the room, both for duration of executive session. Those authorized to attend the executive session, please continue to keep your phone muted and camera off. Are there any representatives of the news media on Zoom?
There are none, Chair.
Recognizing there is no news media in attendance, the public will be moved into a separate breakout room for the duration of the executive session. We will return to open session before taking any final action or making any final decisions. It is estimated that the board will return to the public session at, do we have a specific time for that?
Travis, what are you thinking?
I would say it's 30 minutes.
Okay. Please be aware that it is possible that the board's executive session may last longer than 30 minutes. If the public has any questions about whether the board is still in executive session, then the public can contact Josh Page at josh.page@oha.oregon.gov. We are now in executive session. The Board of Certified Advanced Estheticians will now exit executive session and reconvening open session at 10:30 a.m. If the public has any questions about whether the board is still in executive session, then the public can contact Josh Page at josh.page@oha.oregon.gov. We are now, we are, did I read the wrong one? Oh my gosh, I lost my spot here. We are now ending executive session.
Okay. It is proposed that in case number 26-11698 to revoke Advanced Aesthetics License number CAE-P-10182-906, issue a civil penalty in the amount of $5,000, allow HLO to negotiate with the respondent, and the respondent will be responsible for costs of administrative proceedings up to $5,000.
This is Rachel Anthony. I so move.
This is Olivia Gill. I second the motion to move.
And Chair, if you'll call roll, please.
Okay, Jamie O'Neill, aye. Rachel Anthony,
Aye.
Olivia Gill,
Aye.
Dr. Thomas Evans,
Aye.
Heather Onaday,
Aye.
Rachel Almada.
Aye.
Excellent. Okay. Chair, members of the board, the next item on the agenda is other board business. HLO doesn't have any at this particular time, but I would like to state, since we have several new board members, that if you have anything you want us to look at, Sammy Patnode is your analyst, right, Josh? Yeah. And you can email her questions or things that you would like us to take a look at. We're pretty busy, but we will do it. And just email Sammy or myself or Josh Page, and we'll get to working on whatever you need. Any questions, concerns? And if not, Chair, you can adjourn the meeting.
Okay, the Board of Certified Advanced Estheticians meeting is adjourned at 10:32 a.m.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Joanna, thank you
Thank
very
you.
much for your assistance today.
Thank you.
Thank you.